Cedar Hollow, Pennsylvania, a quiet, close-knit town with a population barely touching 2,000. In places like this, everyone knows everyone, and they all knew Mr. James Dalton, the high school English teacher who seemed too good to be true. He wasn't just an educator. He was a mentor, a volunteer, a pillar of the community. The kind of man who quoted Hemingway over coffee and brought hot cocoa to students on snow days. When he didn't show up for work on Monday, October 7, 2019, the town didn't just worry, they panicked. His car was in the driveway. His house locked. Lights on. But James Dalton was nowhere to be found. At first, authorities suspected a random act of violence. A break-in gone wrong, maybe. But the lack of any sign of struggle raised more questions than answers. His phone? Still on the nightstand. No signs of forced entry. No ransom demands. Just an open copy of The Catcher in the Rye on his kitchen counter. Page 93 underlined, "People never notice anything." The town rallied. Searches were organized. News media picked up the story. But the deeper they looked, the stranger things became. 2 weeks after James vanished, police received an unmarked envelope. Inside was a USB drive. The video on it. A haunting self-recording. "If anything happens to me," Dalton says, visibly shaken, "it wasn't random. And it wasn't who you think it is." This cryptic warning shifted the focus. Dalton's laptop history revealed something no one expected. He had been sending anonymous tips to a local investigative podcast, exposing alleged corruption in Cedar Hollow City Council and Police Department. At the center of his tips, Sheriff Ray Montgomery, once Dalton's student, now his silent rival, and a young woman named Emily Monroe, a former student who had accused Montgomery of misconduct years earlier. The shock came when Emily Monroe confessed, not to murder, but to helping Mr. Dalton stage his own disappearance. According to Emily, "He told me he was being watched. Said he needed to disappear to finish what he started." Detectives found a hidden cabin 40 miles out, rented under a false name. Inside, Dalton's jacket, recent food supplies, crime files, but no Dalton. Gone again. Only this time, on purpose? Then, months later, just as the town began to forget, a second USB drive was emailed anonymously to local reporters. On it, Dalton's voice, narrating his final investigation. Documents proving corruption among Cedar Hollow officials. Evidence tampering, forged signatures, cover-ups. He ends with chilling clarity. "If this is the last time you hear from me, just know I did this because the truth matters, even if the people in power don't." To this day, James Dalton has never been found. He's neither declared dead nor legally missing. His cabin remains abandoned. But every year, on the anniversary of his disappearance, someone leaves a dog-eared copy of The Catcher in the Rye on the steps of Cedar Hollow High. Open to page 93. The same line underlined. People never notice anything. What began as a presumed tragedy turned into a layered mystery, one involving betrayal, courage, and a man who may have sacrificed everything for the truth. Was Mr. Dalton murdered, or did he vanish by design? Let us know your theory in the comments.